Hello, beautiful soul. How are you doing, good viber? It's your girl Esther Joy coming at you with another video. On this channel, we like to talk about love, light, joy, and peace. So if you, my friend, enjoy these vibrations, you're in the right place. Now, it's come to my attention that there's been a lot of shift, a lot of change happening. And a lot of people are once again waking up, which is cool. I wanted to share some spiritual happenings that have occurred to me over the past bit of time so that hopefully maybe they've happened to you, or this is just a message I feel led to share. Okay, let's keep this as simple as possible. I have been allowing myself to feel a level of removal from the earth at this time. And at first I was alarmed because I felt like I was becoming numb and disconnected to the earth, which is something that I know in my heart it seems many of us are. And I didn't want to be one of them, but I found myself kind of feeling removed from certain situations. It was easier perhaps to look at other people and to judge them for their far from perfect relationship with the earth. And I suppose there was a point where I wasn't paying attention to mine at all. And it was hard to feel connected, to feel grounded, to take time out, to nourish this part of myself for a little while. And in that season, as I know I'm now transitioning from, I understand why. I understand that this was not as much as an act of fear, because quite truly, I think in my heart, there were things that I was feeling a bit of fear for, fear that what will happen to the earth, fear that humans are just destroying it at such a level that it will never be able to fully recover. And then having this sense of disconnection at the time, I felt like I was just floating, like I wasn't really there. And I was afraid. I was afraid that this sense of my soul being absent would destroy and hurt the earth even more. And to be honest, I can't say that it didn't. But I can say that from coming out of this kind of smog, this kind of feeling of fear that I cannot do anything to help it, that these goals and dreams are unattainable or they won't help. I think there's something deep, that alarm to say, hey, you are disconnected. Because before then, I think they were touching, they were close. My consciousness and the earth status and the instructions in order to effectively assist at this time, they were close. Maybe brushing shoulders or touching elbows, but they weren't interlocked. The circuit hadn't actually began, if that makes sense. I was just very close, and it felt very overwhelming. And it felt so overwhelming, it became numbing. I felt overwhelmed. How am I going to help the earth? It became numbing. I don't know how, so I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to feel about it. I'm going to keep going about my day in the way the society is structured. And there was this little alarm every time I seemed to feel like I was taking a step in the opposite direction that my soul is leading me to, that God has entrusted me with this mission. There was a little alarm that kept getting louder and louder and louder. And then I think I reached the point, like last week, that it was a breaking point. It was a point of nothing crazy had happened, but within me, it just didn't feel right. I didn't want to feel disconnected to the earth anymore. I know how much pain the earth is in, And I understand why I needed to take that time away from it. And perhaps you're in a stage, in a chapter, a season of your life where you had to take a step back from your mission because it was so engrossed. You were so deep in it, it was hard to really see where you really were. You were in the middle of the trees, stuck in a forest, and you couldn't see the right direction to go. So I believe that in my case, kind of wandering away, kind of allowing the mind to stray, the body to stray, it pushed me back into the right direction. Because deep in my heart, I know that there is a reason I'm here, there's a purpose to my being, and there is a mission that I'm here to carry through. And so this period, I do see it as almost a period of rest and a period where many the mistakes and my human mind, my ego doesn't want to admit that I did things wrong, that I waited too long, or that my action of inaction was actually one of the biggest reasons why things didn't work out the way that I thought they would, that led to further shutting down, that led to further numbness, that led to further distractions to cope with the fact that I felt like I was incapable of fulfilling the mission that I'm here on earth to fulfill. Isn't it funny? Like, we were made with a purpose, and this mission is so deeply ingrained in our being that we often overlook it or overthink it or overamplify its importance. And so, yeah, I want to come back to reality with you for a second and say that you are not alone if you feel these things. Obviously, I do too, my friend, and I'm sure many of us out there also are dealing with this. And so now I'm coming back and I'm facing myself and I'm practicing compassion. And I pray that you can practice compassion with me this week. I have so much fear of failure and disappointment, and it's something that has really strangled a lot of my self-sustaining tendencies. It's something that almost destroyed me, and it's something that I'm learning to live with and grow from. It's not time to run away anymore. Now it is time to face yourself for all of your entirety. Nobody is perfect, and there are things in this earth that we are here to learn, and that means making mistakes and learning from them. It's weird to know that we have the capacity to feel Earth's pain, and we have the capacity to shut this part off. That we know that we are part of nature, but we can fool ourselves into thinking that nature is something apart from us. And I understand why I took time to separate myself, because it was very painful to feel. And honestly, right now in this video, I'm opening myself back up to feel a lot of this energy because it needs to be addressed and acknowledged. And now is the time to face the hurt parts of the collective that you can see with your perspective. What I see with my perspective, I see through my reality and the experiences and the people and what they feel led to say to me. And to have compassion for yourself. I think sometimes humans think that we have to go fast in order to get somewhere, to get our manifestations. If you take time and you look at the plants around you and you see how they grow, and one day maybe that tree wasn't so big, Maybe one day that shrub wasn't overgrown, and now they are so big. And applying that to this timeline that we are on, I understand that the disconnection was for a purpose, re-anchoring to the 5D Earth. It required a disconnection from the 3D Earth, and it felt, myself personally, I felt a lot of my 3D roots get cut. In fact, during the Light Resonance Portal, which is a soul mentorship online community that me and my soul sister Arya have created, we explore channeling and share different practices, techniques, and invitations to the community to assist them with their soul mission. Now, we were on the route, and you can get access to that recording with the link below. And we did a meditation, and at the end of the meditation, as I understood it, all of my roots from the 3D had been severed. They had been cut off. And there was something stronger than those roots that was within me, that was holding down the soul in my body, and it was literally, the best way to say is God's will. And many doors were present after this, let's say, spiritual surgery, representing the many avenues, the many ways now that these new roots could take. And so trusting in Source to provide the most nourishing pathway at this time was all that I can and am doing. So this disconnection that had been felt in this past chapter and this past season that may be coming up, I feel led to share that it is a part of the acclimation of the integration with this new timeline that we are arriving to now. I don't know what to say about the timeline. I just wanted you to know that it is happening now. It has been happening, and I felt it happen for me. This has been after a period of not really practicing my intuitive channels very much, more than I felt led. And because I just trust in God really to practice these spiritual gifts when the time is right, I don't use them very much until God, Source tells me, okay, cool, open up the channels. And the channels have been opened, so that's cool. I'm receiving and allowing myself to trust that everything is in divine flow, my friend. And Good Viber, if you're watching this is an affirmation that you are in the right place, that if you feel a little disconnected, things have been feeling a little hard, and you feel like things are starting to shift, they are. And that I hope that you can take some time to practice compassion with yourself and your fellow humans. It's needed. Have patience with yourself, whether you feel much or feel nothing at all. I appreciate you so much, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. God bless, and namaste.